Hello there, my name is Paper Will, and as the year 2020 comes to a merciful close, it's good to look back and remember the highlights of, you know what we're doing, right? It's in the title. We're reviewing Smash Brothers, not reviewing, we're recapping. We're recapping Smash Brothers from the year in review. Just do the transition. Late 2019 was like this incredible time for Smash. Only 1 year into the lifespan, we were getting like the hypest DLC characters. Joker, Dragon Quest hero guy, Banjo friggin' Kazooie. I mean, look, even like K. Rool is like hype for this guy. And the meme maker himself, Terry Come On. Is that his last name? Is it Come On? That can't be right. Not to mention the happiest looking crowd I have ever seen in my life. Okay, so things were pretty excited. And entering 2020, we had the final DLC character announcement coming. So people were even more excited. The Smash community does what it always does, and it kind of whipped itself into a frenzy. This time for the January Nintendo Direct, hoping for some Smash news. But it turns out Nintendo had other plans, choosing to focus on a very important presentation about Pokemon.
And combined with the Isle of Armor, dozens of new clothing items will be added.
Good priorities there, Nintendo. But soon after, there was some news. Nintendo announced that the 5th and final DLC character would finally be shown on January 16th. The Smash community waited patiently, tapering their expectations so they wouldn't be disappointed. I'm just kidding, we lost our minds. Several high-profile leaks, quote, leaks, pointed to Dante from the DMC series. Not that one. The good one. No, not that one. The good one. Yeah, close enough. Or Crash Bandicoot from Crash Bandicoot. And of course, the ever-present wish that Geno would finally be added to Smash. By the way, if you don't know who Geno is, he's a character from a game 25 years ago where Square Enix and Nintendo co-created a Super Mario RPG, and a ton of people really, really, really want him in Smash. No, I don't get it either. He was added as a Mii character in Smash 4, but unlike Sans, his Mii outfit was just like a hat and a weird costume. But people were hoping in Smash Ultimate he'd finally join the roster as a full character, bringing us back to the topic of the first DLC character reveal. And this is what we got. Yeah, it's Byleth, another Fire Emblem character. See, a lot of people were already pretty bummed that there were so many Fire Emblem characters, 5 of which had very similar movesets, and adding another one felt kind of odd to do as the big finale for Smash DLC, and it was a little disappointing. All of this was kind of made worse in that in the same update, both Cuphead from Cuphead and Altair from Assassin's Creed were added as new Mii costumes, and kind of got more hype than Byleth did. Here, let's compare some of the reaction videos. Now, compare that to Cuphead's reaction. Or even worse, the one that Altair got. I've been following Smash stuff for a few years now. I have never seen a DLC character get less hype than the Mii costumes it was announced with. So it was weird. We also got some Rabbids and Mega Man X costumes, and that's pretty cool. Mii costumes, they represent a really weird place in the Smash character tapestry. The truth is, most people don't play Mii characters, but we're all super excited when a game we love gets Mii representation in Smash. It's like a Hall of Fame spot. It solidifies a character as part of gaming history, I guess. That's why Sans was so big for everybody in 2019, even as a Mii costume nobody would probably use. Later in this video, you'll see other Mii choices, but to me, Cuphead and Sans, man, those were the biggies. The Byleth update also brought some nerfs to Joker and Palutena, some of the best characters in the game, while giving buffs to a ton of other characters. Overall, again, for casual fans, January was a lukewarm but okay start for the year. Things were gonna be a little different in the pro player scene though. As you may know, there's been a bit of a disconnect between Nintendo and Smash Bros. Tournament culture for a long time, and it's a shame that rift's going to continue from the start of 2020. In late January, Nintendo President Furukawa Shintaro doubled down on Nintendo's long-standing policy of not paying for tournament prize pools for Smash tournaments. Game companies are often one of the largest sources of payouts for tournaments, and it's annoying to see Nintendo be so hands-off. For example, the EVO Japan 2020 event, one of the largest fighting game events in the whole country of Japan, while Street Fighter V was paying out prizes like 100,000 yen or $10,000, in first place for Smash, you got a special edition Switch Pro controller. How exciting, right? You guys like controllers, right? It's probably not a coincidence that almost half of the players didn't even show up. The last bit of news in January is kind of messy, and it's a little bit tricky to talk about. The Super Smash Bros. Conduct Panel, a group of tournament organizers, issued lifetime bans for two famous players, Captain Zack and Mewtwo Queen. Zack, while a minor, had been in a relationship with pro player Ali, who was 10 years older than him. When the community found out, Ali was rightfully banned, and most people supported Zack as a victim of grooming, but DMs were also leaked showing Zack telling Ali to throw games at tournaments, which breaks Smash Code of Conduct rules. Due to the circumstances of that relationship though, Zack was given a 5-year period, after which he could appeal and get back into the tournament scene if he could show, quote, sufficient growth. The other ban was given to Mewtwo Queen, another player, who was banned for sexual assault of two tournament goers. The controversy here came from the fact that Mewtwo Queen only needed to wait 2.5 years to appeal, while Zack had to wait 5 for what seemed like a lesser offense. But trust me, there were going to be a lot more bans coming later this year. Okay, palate cleanser. Let's get to the best news of February. I won't even preface it with info, so just watch.
All Bowser players are carried.
If you don't follow politics, you might be wondering, well, who the hell is that? Why, that's Andrew Yang, presidential candidate for the Democratic Party and self-proclaimed NES main, telling people that Bowser players are carried. If you don't know what that means, Yang, again, a man who might have been president of the United States, is publicly telling people that Bowser is such a good character that people who use him are being carried to success with his moves and not their skills, which is just amazing. I love that this exists. And you know, the mainstream media with their Sony bias didn't even follow up on how a NES main is going to talk smack about Bowser. They're all too busy talking about Sony All-Stars 2 or something. I don't know. This joke wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. There was also news from the development team. Remember in January where everybody and their mother hated Byleth at her reveal? Well, Sakurai, the game's creator and adorable nerd seen here, actually addressed some of those criticisms about Byleth, adding that he knew there would be some backlash, and his team made this very strong effort to keep her distinct and fresh and interesting from the other Fire Emblem characters. The news kind of buried the lead here though, because in that interview he made a very telling statement that it was Nintendo and not him making the choice of which fighter to put in the game. Some people maybe found this statement a little hard to believe, seeing as how A, Sakurai is a huge Fire Emblem fan, and B, Nintendo's development structure is generally to put one person in charge of entire projects, only interfering when necessary. Honestly, the decision of who to include is probably more of a joint effort between Sakurai, Nintendo, and the companies they reach out to. Sakurai has to think the character will be fun. Nintendo has to think that the character will sell, and the third-party owner of the character has to want their character in Smash, and by the way, not every company does, it turns out. And they have to figure out the complicated copyright systems in their own country and countries around the world with mixing these two IPs. It's messy, but overall, I think the interview had a great message to fans. The development team had made a good effort to try and keep this new character fun to play as someone the fans would grow to love, even if the initial announcement was a bit of a letdown. And you know what? They succeeded. By February, most people were realizing that Byleth was one of the best DLC additions this game had seen in years. Sure, she was another Fire Emblem character, but her moveset was varied and interesting, she wasn't overpowered, sometimes, and the bottom line, she was fun to play as. maybe most importantly, she wasn't relying on some of the more unpopular mechanics like automatic turnaround or comeback abilities, which we saw a little bit in the previous DLC characters. This was a solid, technical character with fun and flashy movesets, and it's safe to say Byleth was an accepted member of the Smash family, despite a rocky start. But not everybody gets into Smash. Imran Khan, a former editor for Game Informer, leaked some tough news about Sora in the middle of February. Sora's the main protagonist from the Kingdom Hearts series, or most of them. I'll be honest, I've played like half of those games, and I have no idea what's going on, but Sora's long been a fan favorite for inclusion in Smash Bros. Unfortunately, the character rests in a really weird place copyright-wise. See, Sora is owned by Disney and Square Enix, and according to Khan, this is what happened. Nintendo goes to Square Enix and says, "Hey, can we use Sora in Smash?" And Square Enix is like, "Who? Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, whatever. Just get permission from Disney too." So they go to Disney and they say, "Oh, hi Disney, can we use Sora in Smash?" And Disney's like, "Who? No, get out of here, you can't have anybody." "Is he gone?" Yeah, he's gone. Not unlike Nintendo, Disney's always been fiercely protective of their IPs and generally don't like giving creative control over to others. It's always possible Sora will get into Smash, but who knows. I'm not personally a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. It's always been very, like, give up, evil will triumph. No, friendship will triumph with the power of hearts. And hearts are no match for my edgy goatee. And then, like, Donald Duck, like, and I don't know what he's saying. What do you want, Donald? Oh, yeah, so I don't love the games, but the cool thing about Smash is that it sort of represents all gaming. Having Sora would be a huge nod to the massive community of Kingdom Hearts players, and I think casual players generally appreciated Nintendo's attempt to get him in. But that's the casual scene. Over in the pro scene, the rift between Nintendo and the tournament culture was still kind of an issue, and Hungrybox, one of the biggest pro players of Smash history, and the only man I've ever seen making a headband look good while playing a video game, took a win at Beyond the Summit 9, a big tournament, and he gave this heartfelt speech to Nintendo reps asking them to put more stock into their esports space. Take a look.
Nintendo, I need to say I love you guys, but you are the only one not putting in resources into the scene. Look at Capcom Cup, look at that celebration, look at every other game, look at Fortnite. This is the step that you're missing, and if you did that, the culture and the appreciation that you guys would receive would be bar none unlike anything you've received. So hope you're listening. It's probably a shot in the dark, but please support Smash tournaments.
Okay, so here's the thing. At the time, I completely agreed with him, but later in this video, we're going to see that Nintendo's decision not to get involved actually might have turned out to be the right one. Yeah, that's right. More foreshadowing. It probably comes as no surprise that March was mostly the end of 2020's Smash tournament scene, at least for in-person events. COVID-19 hit the world really hard, and it quickly became clear that giant rooms full of people scrunched together for hours at a time would be a bad call. But it wasn't just tournaments that were affected, even the game's development was taking a hit. On March 17th, a Japanese column written by Sakurai announced that due to the rising number of corona cases, DLC and game updates were going to be delayed, including the next bonus character. Oh, and slight tangent, like 2 days later, he also kind of, sort of, but not really implied that Overwatch characters would probably not be coming to Smash anytime soon. Sakurai has said in the past that he plays a lot of any game he's considering to put into Smash. In a March interview with Famitsu, he mentioned that he didn't play Overwatch very much, and fans and journalists took that to mean that Overwatch characters like Tracer were now out of the running for Smash. Nope, that's the end of the story. Like, normally I wouldn't even bring this up, except like 20 gaming websites posted articles about this with like, Overwatch now deconfirmed for Smash, and Sakurai rules Overwatch characters out. The truth is, stories like this tie into the larger problem that Smash has with rumors and leaks. They are almost always wrong. While researching for this video, which took a long time by the way, please subscribe, I started keeping track of leaks and gossip throughout the year to see which things panned out and which things were wrong, and guys and gals, all of them were wrong. Like, seriously, all of them. Every single story. It is insane how wrong we are constantly. Do not trust leaks. Even credible sounding ones. Like in January, the voice actor for Dante in DMC said that he would be the next DLC character. Surprise, he wasn't. Nintendo also seemed to be a little tired of the leaks, and leaks. And to curb some of these expectations, they announced that the next character would be coming from the ARMS series, although they didn't specify who. See, ARMS is a new IP for Nintendo, and it's one of the earliest titles to hit the Switch. It didn't review terrifically well, but the character designs were all, super cool. What they didn't tell us, though, is which character it was going to be. By this point in the year, online tournaments were now the new normal. Sites like Smash GG allowed players to set up tournaments from their own home, and helpful programs like Slippy Online allowed older games like Melee to be played online easily. For pro players, this was good news, because instead of driving halfway across the country for every major tournament to make $100, they started streaming their participation in online events, and streaming paid well. As we talked about before, that tension between the pro players and Nintendo was usually about how Nintendo-sponsored events didn't pay out very well, and especially compared to other circuits. For example, remember Hungrybox? Dude's made about $370,000 in career prize money total, which, hey, sounds like a lot, until you realize he's been playing since 2007. Faker, one of the top League of Legends players, has made over $1.2 million since 2013. But with the rise of online Smash tournaments, fans were able to directly support their favorite players through Twitch subscriptions and Patreon and so on. Pros could play online and finally make a livable wage. Unfortunately, Smash Ultimate's online had some problems. Any game you play online is going to have lag, but most fighting games use what's called a transaction or a rollback model, where a missed input frame is simply assumed to be the last input as the previous frame. Input data from both players is then cut up, and any missed frames are rolled back to the original. The system isn't perfect, but basically lag noticeability is severely decreased. Smash instead uses a frozen sync system. I won't bore you with the specifics, mostly because I don't understand them, but the short answer is this. If one person is laggy, all other players will also be laggy in that same match, and by the end of April, people were getting pretty tired of it. On Twitter, #FixUltimateOnline started trending, putting pressure on Nintendo to do something about these online issues. Before Nintendo was able to start releasing any netcode improvements, they announced they'd be holding a new online Smash tournament with a special prize. A digital code for Smash Bros. Volume 2, Splatoon 2, and ARMS to get people excited about the upcoming ARMS character. Yeah, it's not prize money, but to be honest, these tournaments went surprisingly smoothly. Sure, some characters that benefit from internet lag probably did better than they would have, but otherwise I think this could have gone a whole lot worse. I wonder if Nintendo thought that the good performance of these tournaments would help calm down some of the backlash with their internet tech. We'll never really know though, because basically the next day, any goodwill bought by that tournament was about to be dumped. #FixUltimateOnline hit a mainstream in full force on May 13th. That's when the organizers of EVO, the largest US tournament of the year, announced that Smash would not be making an appearance in July. The reason for this was never disclosed, but a couple of leaks pointed towards Smash's touchy, unstable internet. Although I did also say earlier not to trust leaks, but it was probably the internet. We'd soon find out though, Smash's exclusion in EVO wouldn't really matter. You'll see why in July. Okay, I swear that's the last time I do some foreshadowing. Or is it? No, it is. It was a long wait, but June was finally here, and June meant the new character reveal. Sakurai's team had somehow managed to put together a character all while working from home and separately. Remember, this was the first new character of the new DLC pack. Nintendo and Sakurai knew it needed to bring the hype. So, which ARMS character got the Smash invite? Was it Ninjara? Max Brass? Whatever the hell that godless thing is? Take a look. Yeah, it's Mean, or Mean? Well, I don't know. While Violet got a meh response at best, people were generally excited for Mean. I mean, look at some of her moves. That range is crazy, and look at Kirby with the noodle hair. Wow, I want that. This was a solid B+ reveal trailer, and to make it even better, I think knowing that Mean would be an ARMS character ahead of time meant that nobody was really let down. Except for Geno fans. Hi, Geno fans! You will never be happy. I mentioned earlier it was pretty incredible that Sakurai's team got Min Min out in the conditions the world was in, and again, nothing but respect to him and everybody who works with him. But as much fun as her release was, most players abandoned her pretty quickly, and this isn't my personal opinion. A user by the name of Innocent Rabbit put together a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Quick Play Fighter data sheet page, wow, that's a lot of words, right around this time, where he spectated over 50,000 matches, and then he tracked certain statistics. One of those stats was how frequently each character appeared online. Typically, new DLC characters will dominate online play for several days or even weeks after the release, but Min Min wasn't getting that much use. In fact, not too long after she joined the roster, she was one of the least used characters online, all the way down at number 75. And funny story, Byleth, she was now the 6th most used character in the entire game online. Why Min Min, a character lots of people were excited for, was dropped so quickly is up for debate, but I'd wager it's due to her moveset. The easiest way to play Min Min if you're a new player is to use her as a long distance character. It's baked right into her setup. So players using her would often run from the opponent, turn around, and attack, and for many, this created a pretty boring cycle of run, attack, run, attack, run, attack, and people got tired of it. It's a shame too, because I think that Min Min has the potential for really complex and interesting playstyles, and hopefully in the future some players maybe can bring her back into the mix. By the way, all props and kudos and credit and points, everything in the world to Innocent Rabbit for spectating 50,000 matches. My god. If you're curious to learn more about his project, he released both the full data and a super interesting video explanation of the numbers, which I'm linking to in the description. This is some of it's the most high effort, high quality content Smash has ever seen, and it's a tragedy that video only has like 5,000 views, at least right now. Hopefully it'll have more soon. So we talked a lot about Min Min, but we haven't gotten into the other elements of the June patch. As always, a new DLC character also means new Mii outfits. This included an ARMS costume, Heihachi from Tekken, Callie and Mally from Splatoon 2, and weirdly enough, the Vault Boy from the Fallout series? Man, Smash got weird, huh? There were also a decent number of buffs to Marth's sword and to Ike's up special. Diddy Kong got some adjustments that made him more well-rounded, but effectively eliminated a lot of his high-level techniques. Nothing really game-changing for most characters, but I think June was a good time for everybody. Unlike next month. Okay, so July 2020 was probably the worst month in Smash Bros. History. Like, listen, it's bad. It's really, really bad. When I told you in January that Captain Zack and Allie's situation was foreshadowing for something later this year, this month is what I was talking about. If you don't know, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, we had a massive outpouring of allegations against many long-established faces in the Smash community. This tidal wave of controversy was known as Smashgate, and the victims' accusations ranged over quite a lot of topics, but the main focus was sexual harassment in the community, particularly with minors. If you'd rather not hear about any of this, I get it. Skip ahead to the next section of the video. Nobody will hold it against you. I respect that it might not be a comfortable topic for you, and that's cool. No pressure. Okay, you sticking around? You good? Okay, we'll wade through this crap together. So, how did Smashgate start? Well, as is often the case with big change lately, it began with a tweet. A Smash competitor named Pape posted a tweet that read, quote, "My experience with Senpai, read." Okay, so who was Senpai? Well, as a competitor, she was pretty average, usually landing in the top 40s or 50s, but she made a name for herself as a hyper-competent and charismatic Smash event commentator. Her public image was very positive, honestly.
The fact that he was by the ledge with the Saturn, Z dropped it,
Yeah.
almost got off the ledge, and he snatched it back up,
Oh my
went back
God,
above him,
yeah.
Z dropped it again and broke his shield.
Yeah, playoffs, baby.
Who even cares how he took the stock in the
Yeah,
end? Like,
that was so
that took
sick.
his soul, man.
Yes.
But in Pape's tweet, he linked to a tweet longer explaining that he had been in a relationship with her in 2016. For context, she would have been 24 while he would have been 14. Yeah. The community's reaction was, to put it kindly, mixed, and to put it more honestly, kind of gross. Like a lot of, oh, what a lucky boy, and nice responses on Twitter, and Pepe even got backlash for talking about these things at all. Regardless, this single tweet, it triggered a huge influx of similar allegations and accusations against more than 100 Smash personalities and commentators and pro players. There was also a Reddit megathread put together by users Civilized Psycho and JFMV763 who organized every allegation and every response to every allegation, so shout out to those MVPs for helping keep track of information. It became obvious that the Smash community had some big problems, and they all came out in July. A lot of the players accused, especially the ones who had proof shown, thankfully were retired or fired or lost their sponsorships and their online positions. Major YouTubers, not just in Smash, but just major YouTubers, are just gone after things that they've done came to light. Coincidentally, similar allegations were made against the co-organizer of EVO 2020. You remember the tournament that had cut Super Smash Bros. Due to the bad internet, leading to the whole thing being cancelled, not just Smash anymore. Earlier, when I said that Nintendo perhaps chose right by staying hands-off in the tournament community, this is what I meant. Nintendo was completely distanced from this entire fiasco, although they did release a PR statement. But as complicated and messy and icky and as all of this is, it's better that we heard about it, right? I really think we're going to start seeing some positive consequences moving forward as tournament organizers are talking about stricter rules with alcohol, different colored wrist tags for minors, and overall I think the community is a little bit more vigilant and wary of stuff that's inappropriate. If you think I'm glossing over anything, or I'm not calling out enough of those players by name in this video, that's fair. The truth is, I spent about 2 weeks working on this part of the video, recording explanations and history for almost every allegation that was on that mega thread and what happened to each of the players and the responses, but ultimately I decided to cut it all out. A couple of the stories are still ongoing. I don't want to skim over important details to keep this video length down, and maybe not everybody watching this, this dumb little Smash recap video about 2020 is comfortable listening to all of that stuff, So I'm going to make a separate and obviously non-monetized video next month just for Smashgate, where all of these stories and all of the victims can get the attention and time that I think they actually deserve, along with more trigger warnings and early disclaimers. So, okay, moving on. Oh, hold on. Also in July, there was a GameStop leak where Gino was named as the next DLC character. Obviously, it was wrong, surprising absolutely nobody, especially not me, because again, every Smash leak is always wrong. Okay, moving on to... So, July sucked, huh? But August is super fun for Smash. Remember hashtag Ultimate Online? Well, Nintendo A actually noticed, B actually listened, and C did something. We got netcode improvements. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but personally, I really felt like they were tightening some screws in the online play because it felt a lot better. It's still not perfect, but it's better. And I thank you to Nintendo for that. It's easy to give them a hard time for being out of touch, but I think they deserve a nice clap on the shoulder for this one. I tried to Photoshop Master Hand clapping Mario on the shoulder. It didn't look very good. I mean, you can see it. There it is. Take it all in. Can I animate it? Yep. Oh, it's even worse. Why is it worse? And we got more than netcode improvements. Smash got the 8.1 small battlefield update. This was an odd addition, as we usually don't get individual stage updates, but I suspect it was supposed to be included in Min Min's patch, and they didn't have enough time to iron out the wrinkles, and the team was working from home, but this stage is neat. It balances out fights where people can usually jump to the top platform and avoid attacks, without being a flat surface where rundown characters can just wreck everybody. So yeah, cool stuff. There was also some minor controversy, and I'll be honest, controversy is a bit of a generous term here, about the Smash ladder mode that was only in Japan. Western players were a little bit frustrated that they didn't have access to that. Some of you might know that I live in Japan. I was lucky enough to try out this feature, and truth be told, you aren't missing out on much, trust me. Towards the end of August, the largest fan poll ever over which characters players wanted to be added to the game was taken. Over 22,000 votes, and we got a bit of a surprise win with Heavy. from Team Fortress 2, or TF2. If you're unfamiliar with TF2, it was / maybe is a hugely popular team first-person shooter. Think Overwatch, but before Overwatch. Following behind Heavy, there was Waluigi, Rayman, Steve, Sora. What the hell's a Bandana D? Oh, hey Gino, what's going on, buddy? 708 people throwing their votes away. So we entered September, and you know that means it's fall. Wait, is it fall? Is September fall? Yeah. Wait, when does summer? It doesn't matter. As we got to September, we saw a bit more of that Nintendo tournament player disconnect where Nintendo's newest, quote, Pro Tourney offered My Nintendo Gold points for tourney placements. Had this happened last year, I think it would have ruffled more feathers, but by this point, most of the major tourney players had already moved on to Twitch and YouTube streaming as their main source of income. Most seem to be content with streaming being their career, even if it's just temporary. One player who wasn't happy or content was Leffen. Backstory, Leffen was a huge name in Smash Melee scenes, and he continued to stay on top of the community for years, but he's always had a bit of a reputation as a villain, or as much of a villain as you can be in a video game, I guess. He certainly put his foot in his mouth this September, though, in a heated exchange with a Twitter user named Rickles. Quote, I'm trying to keep this video clean, so I'm saying blanking. I blanking sold my body and soul to make that money, so you think that you have to love and respect every blanking job you do for money, ? I'd rather flip burgers at McDonald's if it paid the same amount as Smash did. Some people briefly stepped in to say, maybe he misspoke, or he actually, he doubled down. You never double down. A lot of people jumped on him for this because obviously he's making decent money streaming while playing a video game, save at home, during a pandemic while essential workers are leaving their houses every day, risking their lives for less money. And I understand the criticism. Cards on the table, I've never been a huge fan of Leffen's, but this year I'm trying to cut people a bit more slack. Leffen was probably going through what a lot of us were, where we're being socially disconnected, we're stressed about our lives and our loved ones. I don't want to excuse all bad behavior, I really don't, but saying this as someone who doesn't even enjoy that guy's content, I think people were a little harsh on him, and I hope that he's in a better headspace now. There was a slightly more tricky story a few days later, though, in the form of the US Army esports team tournament with a $5,000 prize pool in Smash. Now, if you didn't know that the US Army hosts esports tournaments, don't feel bad, neither did I. It's a little bizarre. Here, watch this. Yeah, that is a very real video on the very real official US Army YouTube channel with 160,000 subscribers, which is 160,000 more than I have. A lot of Smash players and tournament leaders believe that an Army-sponsored tournament was really a way for the military to, quote, get their hands on kids and brainwash them, which, they're almost certainly doing these tournaments for the PR and to drive up recruitment numbers, although I think brainwashing is a slight exaggeration. Either way, the tournament started taking some heat on Twitter, and a lot of major Smash players either pulled out or never signed up in the first place, although a few did remain. Your view on this topic is probably going to depend on your view of the military and recruitment tactics, and when is it okay to romanticize warfare and a lot of complicated things that I am not qualified to talk about either on my YouTube or ever in life. So what I can say is this. If a pro feels that the tournament was unethical, it is their right to pull out, and I respect that. If someone feels that they need the money and they don't see a problem with the tournament, well, times are tough. I get it. So overall, September, not a great month, not a bad month, pretty middle of the road. I've been sitting here for the last 20 minutes, desperately trying to think of a way to express to you how great October was in Smash. Because we got a character that almost nobody actually expected to get into Smash. I'm not even going to make a Geno joke. That's small change compared to the awesomeness that you're about to see. Just watch it. Just watch it. Steve from Minecraft, really? Really? with one of the most bizarre and kind of sick movesets ever in Smash. He's got stage-based resource mining abilities, weapon crafting, block building. What? Bring in that what woman from the Sands reveal. Yeah, that face, it was all of us in October. And we got to see Sakurai holding a Minecraft item, which is frankly adorable. The man is a gift to us. As is always the case with DLC, yeah, some people are a little unhappy, but not for the reasons you might be thinking. Nope, no, I'm not making a Geno joke this time. I am saving it for later. See, for some players, Minecraft represents this sort of new age of gaming. Think Fortnite dances and first-person shooter games that are entirely on smartphones, and Roblox, and just somewhat non-traditional gaming culture until recently. And Minecraft really started a lot of that. But to me, that new age of gaming, even if it's a little bit puzzling to me in some ways, like, what the hell is up with Roblox? Is Roblox just a Lego game? I legitimately, please leave a comment. I refuse to Google this. You know, those new games and this new wave of gaming, that's part of gaming culture too. And one of the best things about Smash is that we get to represent everybody in one game. It's awesome. So I'm really happy with Steve. Some people have asked about Jonesy and Fortnite. I do think that Steve being added means that Jonesy is probably not getting in, only because there's a lot of common elements in their gameplay, resource collection, building, and blah, 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 blah. But who knows? I'd be fine with a Fortnite character, especially if there's a third wave of DLC characters. Like, hell yeah, bring it on. Can I also say, Steve's associated Mii characters for this update were done perfectly. A creeper Mii, a diamond armor costume, and yeah, you can just be a pig now in Smash. Pig Ganon, now confirmed. There was also a No More Heroes costume, and hey, Bomberman. So that's neat. If you like Bomberman, what do you call a fan of Bomberman? Bomber Bros? Bombermen? Brombies? Oh, and there's one more character. Who is this? Hold on. Gil from Babylonian Castle Saga. For all those Babylonian Castle Saga fans, buy Gil. I'm sorry, Gil. It doesn't matter. You're not going to buy it. In terms of buffs and nerfs, it was kind of a mixed bag. A lot of already strong characters got buffed, and then some characters that were not so strong got nerfed, like Ridley. Sorry, Ridley fans. Sorry, Eric. For me, the most interesting change to the game dynamic was what happened to Ice Climbers. See, Ice Climbers lets you control two different characters at the same time, and the secondary character basically follows the actions you do with the first character. This time though, Nana, the second Ice Climber, got an AI buff as well as some damage buffs. Quick history lesson for those who didn't follow Melee, the Ice Climbers used to be super hated for this thing called wobbling, where if you could desync your two Ice Climbers and then grab your opponent, you could KO them automatically. It was so powerfully bad that a bunch of tournaments even considered or did ban wobbling from play. I think Nintendo noticed that, and in the subsequent games in the Smash series, they were very careful not to make Ice Climbers too powerful or allow them to wobble. You could argue that they went a little bit too far and made the characters a little bit too weak, but now it looks like we're finally getting some good rebalances, so Nintendo, thanks. Unfortunately, relations between Nintendo and the Smash community, they were about to hit a new low. Hey, remember when, like, Nintendo being too hands-off was the bad thing? It turns out those were the good times because things got so much worse. See, there's this Smash tournament called the Big House. It's the longest running major Smash tourney in the US, as a matter of fact, and like most tourneys this year, the owners elected to run entirely online, which is like, of course, a good choice. We don't want to kill anybody. But the Big House has a major Smash Melee presence, and you can't play Smash Melee online because it's a GameCube game from 20 years ago. What most players have been doing is using a modded version of the game and software known as Slippy Online, which I mentioned earlier allows users to play the game on a network. Nintendo decided, seemingly out of nowhere, to send a cease and desist letter to the owners of the tournament. The Big House had no choice but to cancel the event and refund all the entry fee money. I understand why Nintendo is doing this. I do. They don't like mods in their game, and Slippy Online means relying on a mod to play Nintendo software. I just wish they had done it a different year. Don't do it this year. Programs and mods have stepped up to the plate to allow us to continue playing this game during lockdown, during this horrible pandemic where we're all disconnected from each other, and it would have been nice for them to just look the other way. Just once, look the other way in the name of public safety. Or port Melee to the Switch so people can play it online. Yeah, it's Nintendo's right to stop this tournament, but was it a good choice? From a PR perspective, hell no. As soon as Twitter found out, they lost their mind, as they always do, and hashtag Free Melee started trending with even more support than the hashtag Fix Ultimate Online. And then hashtag Save Melee started trending as well. Pro players in other games and communities, even they joined in and started voicing support. So how did Nintendo handle this backlash? Well, they pulled a Mr. Rossetti and they just dug themselves deeper into the pit. There was a Splatoon 2 Nintendo tournament, and a bunch of teams changed their name to things like Free Melee and Save Melee, and Nintendo, panicking I'm sure, canceled their live stream of the event, citing, quote, executional challenges. Then Nintendo decided, well, we're already deep in this, we might as well keep going. They sent out a bunch of copyright claims against YouTube videos using modded versions of any Smash Bros. Game. Perfectly legal mods, by the way. They aren't running emulators or pirated copies of the game. And to be clear, they are not breaking any laws in using these mods, especially offline. Nintendo just threw copyright claims at them because Nintendo just I don't know, was having a bad day. I don't understand what they're thinking. Seriously, what was that board meeting like? Okay, everyone, welcome to our monthly bad decision meeting. Does anyone have any suggestions for how we can tarnish our image? Remember, if it hurts the tournament scene specifically, you get a bonus. Well, I have an idea. What if we make a character so strong they ruin tournaments for an entire game cycle? Now, we did that with Meta Knight in Brawl. Well, we could charge for them and make sure that it's a pay-to-win scheme. Now, we did that with Bayonetta in Smash 4. Guys, I need you to think outside the GameCube. How about we shut down the longest running Smash tournament in the entire country? See? Jenkins gets it. We'll also throw a bunch of legal threats to small YouTube channels, whatever. Anyway, we gotta go, this joke's too long. Okay, now forget how stupid bad this year was, because December 2020 was bonkers for Smash. Out of nowhere, we get this announcement from Nintendo. New DLC character, revealing tomorrow. The subreddit was shredding itself alive, trying to guess who the character would be. Was it finally going to be Crash, Birdo, Sora? It's not going to be Geno. It's not Geno. I don't think a single person I talked to that day correctly guessed who it was, because we got this. Yeah, it's Sephiroth. Look at him. He's beating up Bayonetta and a Pokemon. Look at this. Look at. Ooh, it's nuts. When Steve was announced, it was big. People were excited, but Sephiroth, man, it just hit the right buttons for the community. And Nintendo did something very, very smart. Instead of just dropping the character into the roster with an update, they actually had a Sephiroth challenge event on the title screen. If you've bought the DLC, you could go to the challenge and unlock him earlier than his actual release date. And I swear, for the next 3 days, 95% of the people I saw online were Sephiroths. I even released a video titled I Played Against 126 Sephiroths as Little Mac. Casual subscribe invitation. This strategy of building up hype with a challenge really paid off for the game. Unfortunately for some fans, we actually got Geno as a Mii costume. The same Mii costume from the last game. Not even a custom head, again, like Sans or Cuphead. Just a dumb looking hat. Look, I've made a few jokes today. I'm not personally invested in this character getting into Smash, but I am legitimately sorry for the people who every Smash game are hoping desperately to see him and then don't. But I guess a Mii costume, again, is better than nothing, right? Maybe. And hey, we got Aerith and Barrett and Tifa and Chocobo hats, which are kind of cute. As for buffs, we got quite a few character adjustments, but the ones I was most excited for were Olimar and Duck Hunt. I legitimately thought Sakurai had just forgotten about these two quirky and interesting characters. It's also not quite a buff, but certain Cloud alternate costumes now give him the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie Final Smash, which is a neat thing to add. That kind of polish, I think, goes a long way. So, all in all, a bumpy ride in 2020. I think December was a strong finish. So, how about the future of Smash? Earlier this year, Sakurai said that he and Nintendo had no plans for a third pack of new DLC characters. It's always possible there will be more, considering how popular the second pack has been, but there's a good chance next year could be the finalization of what Smash Ultimate ultimately looks like. Honestly, overall, I think this has been a pretty solid game for the series, and I'm really happy with what it's shaping up to be. This was actually my first commentary video, and if you like it, feel free to subscribe. Happy New Year, everybody!